Okay, great stuff. Our next reader is the one and only, I actually don't know if that's true, I'm going to guess, Tom Charles Bair III. That's 3. Tom Charles Bair III fields a lot of questions about his name, which actually just happened right before we started, by the way, which he categorically refuses to answer without proper clearance. This clearance is a passcode written on the walls of the gas station bathroom, a capital T, time. Hobbies include tea time and oscillating. He lives in Maine with his wife, novelist Tabitha King. Tom, come on up here.
Hey now, I'm Tom. Oh man, it's good to be here. Good to be here. So thank you all for hosting. I'm very excited to do this and to hear the work of my peers. Getting into it, I thought about revising my blog before. Sorry, not blog. Revising my bio. I thought about revising my bio before I got up here. But I figured, like, for this kind of event that's supposedly fun, no, joke. I love that it's hazing. It's hazing, not wait. It's hazing. No, it's not hazing. It's amazing. This is great. This is great. I love it. Like, for this kind of event, like, if you email the host like 3 times, it's like the host is well within their limits to start ignoring you. And I just thought, like, I can't start my career at Pitt this way. So didn't, but just, so I guess I field questions about my name. But like, I guess, so Tom Charles Bair III, all of the questions sort of add up to, are you quite as pretentious as your name implies? The answer is yes and no. I guess, so Tom Charles Bair III is kind of a show, it's kind of a stage name for this cross-media fiction thing that I do called Prophets of Profits that I'm going to be sharing with you in a second. We're not there yet. It's a digital fiction and a live performance thing with the abridged version I'm going to be sharing, and like some video stuff. So the way that the digital fiction works is that there's this character named Tom Charles Bair III who started a self-help program that says that blogging can work as a talk therapy, right? So then on ProfitsOrProfits.com, the posts of his clients are the constituent elements of the fiction. So they post like 3 times a week and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, you know, there's kind of a what the fuck factor to the whole thing. Happy to talk about it afterwards. But an abridged performance of the performance. Okay, there are 5 steps in the stunt program. Seance is Latin for sitting, and there are 5 steps in the stunt program. But our seance is an S-A-Y-ance because it uses the first step of the stunt, which is say. How many steps are in the stunt program?
5.
And what is the first step of the stunt program?
Say.
And what is seance in Latin?
Sitting.
And our sitting occurs online via blog at profitsforprofits.com using the first step of the stunt, which is
Say.
say. Which is they say. The first step is say. So, okay, so imagine that one day you find a scarf in the back of your throat. That's odd, you think. I wonder what color it is. You wiggle your tongue to try to get some movement from that sucker, but there's not much give. How do I know it's a scarf? You decide to ignore the sensation of cloth clogging your breathing passage and further decide to go about your day with a clog. There's coffee to brew, the filler is due, things stew, you do what you gotta. Throughout the due-long day, the backed-up fabric makes itself known only as another small divisor of your attention. But then, to conclude your day, you, having no alternative, socialize, And if painted, the night scene would be a triptych in which the outer panels represent speculative possibilities, and in the center, a poorly rendered mimetic thing. Center panel. The scarf stifles and absorbs moisture. Conversation is filled with chasms and rocks. You find it difficult to communicate clearly. Left panel, the scarf is gone, but you've died. You swallowed the scarf. Right panel, the scarf is gone. Curiosity prompted you to remove the scarf earlier in the day. Upon returning home, you decide to be in the right. You tie a fishhook to the end of the line, tilt your head back and drop the fishhook into your mouth, snagging the scarf. You pull, at first resistance, then a jerk, then you're flowing. The scarf is red. That's probably why you haven't noticed it for all these years. But it's knotted to another, and this one is yellow with teal polka dots. The third is the official kerchief of the Miami Dolphins. The fourth, a pair of cargo shorts. The fifth, a poncho. The sixth, a leotard. What is this fabric? What has you in knots? Keep going and keep going. You're ready to sincerely, articulately yawp, S-A-Y. You're ready to say. There are many founding thinkers of the stunt. Who here knows Walt Whitman? Raise your hand if you have an identity. Keep your hand up if you understand perfectly the origin of that identity. Should I continue talking to the audience? Language that we once held tightly, language that constitutes our notions of self and other, of one and many, even of here or there, the purposeful recombination of previously independent or accidental elements, the source of infinite renewal. Walt Whitman, despite his racism, emblematic of the white progressive, sounds his barbaric yawp over the roofs of the world, and I, too, became a prophet out of convenience because, truth be scrolled, the truth cannot be told, nor does it matter, nor does it not. It ties its knots from each to an onus and makes itself known through the homely matter of matter and moments. And yet still, Pittsburgh is a brand. Marlboro is a brand. Fire brands, cows are branded, people wear brands, and some are worn as wristbands. Some brands are elegant. Some brands are devilish, hulking imposters ready to believe the myth of whatever their downfall predicts. Some slips are intentional. In the larger scheme of things is the underwriting of the argument, and my backpack, strapped tightly, was sewn by a little tyke in the back of a gaseous factory. Night is a brand. Light is a brand. Sight uses its hands to understand the bandwidth of the candles lit by the actors 3 after the aforementioned factory. Is the task of getting through the day a brand identity for a company other than Dunkin' Donuts? Or has the working man's brew finally gotten through the swill? Toy trucks, bathtubs, brolic frolics through Jackson Pollock's oeuvre. If assembled correctly, these details could result in a brand, but then bricolage would have to be called a brand strategy, and I haven't even taken a course in this stuff. I picked it up along the way. I recycled it. I'm going green. Boom. Brand. The lasting effects of this talk, for instance, are part of my brand. Is there a difference between a brand and a personality? That's a question for the sages. I hate all television, even good television, and it's not because I'm principled. When I have a conversation with a box, I expect it to do the talking. A pulse can be a brand. By pulse, I mean rhythm. Ask Swiss Beats. He's been making the same exact hook for so long that when they finally kicked him out of the industry to be replaced by his wife, I thought there'd be more of an outcry. But no public demand for Swiss Beats. Turns out we just come to expect him. Desire and repetition can be bedmates. Talking about desire can ruin your brand. The wrong bedmate can ruin your brand. Too much obscure lyricism can ruin your brand. As can self-awareness, the can, and weight gain or loss. Depending on your boss, who is always the consumer, who is always in the room, while you're typing, she tightens her rumors.